eat what I want to eat. And my mother would have to be like, no, you're not supposed to eat that. He's like, I want to eat what I want to eat. Well, time went on. He got a little worse. My mother and my father came to live with me in Texas, which was a joy. Still is a joy because I'm thankful for my mother. I call her my ride or die trying mama. Okay, she's always going to be with me and helping me. But when we took my father to a nutritionist, I had to talk him into going to a nutritionist. At first, when they first got down there, I was like, oh my God, look at all of this sodium, right? You know, and I started throwing their stuff away, and then even my mother was like, she's throwing our seasonings away. You know? And I was like, oh, so I had to get her and put her back where I got it from. But I talked them into going to go see a nutritionist. And that changed my father's life. By the time when they came to live with me, I think the doctor said he had less than a year to live. Once he, on his own, started understanding and realizing that, oh, this does make a huge difference. He thought that all the salt and all the seasoning would like burn off. And she was like, no. Everything you put on that is going right in it's going into your system. And so he started doing better with his eating, and my father lived for another 2 years. Okay? I'm going to turn this over to Tina. And so it does make a difference.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So as Teresa, first of all, thank you, Teresa. Thank you for doing this for the community, and thank you for allowing us the opportunity to share. My name is Regina Meadows, and I work with Extension. And so Extension is it's an outreach arm of Auburn University, and so we are in all 67 counties in the state. So this is not just here. We can make these services available other places. But nutrition. So I just want to give you a quick some tidbits as it relates to nutrition. So first of all, let me share what we're having for lunch. Teresa called and said, "What do you think we should serve?" And I was thinking, I don't know, something good, something we're gonna eat. So protein bowls have become pretty popular now. And so what I suggested was something green, of course. Let's do some rice. I suggested brown rice, and we kind of went back and forth on that a bit because I'm thinking, everybody may not try brown rice, but there is some brown rice as well. There is basmati rice, I think we have, and some roasted chicken, herb smoked chicken. So we've got a really good lunch for us, a really good healthy lunch. And the good thing about that meal is that you can eat that so many different ways. You can eat that as rice with chicken on the side and a salad. Or you can put it all in a bowl, like we said, and make it a protein bowl. Because that's what you do when you go to the Greek shops, or if you go to Chipotle. That's exactly what you're doing. It's no different. You're just doing it at home. So we're happy about that. Now, as it relates to nutrition, one thing about nutrition is we truly are what we eat. Teresa just gave us a great testimony to show that it really makes a difference. And so anybody that's come to this table, what I've said to them is, if we get it right on this end, and this is the nutrition end, we're talking about the food, we could hopefully avoid this end, and this is the diabetes. And we've got some people that stop by and say, well, I'm pre-diabetic, or I'm on the cusp of diabetes. So there are some things that we can do to assist with that, to help manage our diabetes a lot better. And it does not take, you don't have to make a big drastic change all at once. And actually, I recommend you not trying to make a drastic change at once, because that's not sustainable. You know, at the beginning of the year, everybody makes resolutions like, I'm gonna get rid of all the salt, I'm getting rid of all of the bad things, all the sugar, I'm getting rid of all that, I'm starting new. I don't recommend that, because that is not sustainable. Do things small things. Maybe change from regular salt to Mrs. Dash. Something that simple. And then as that, is palatable to you, then change to something else. So you need to make the changes incrementally, because whatever conditions we have, they didn't come overnight. They didn't come overnight. They came over time. So in order to reverse it, we need to take time to do that. Now, one thing to start with is simply reading nutrition fact labels. Does anybody read your nutrition labels?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I got some I do, and I got some I didn't even realize there was one. I did.
Watch out.
These are so important, and you can really manage your weight by what you eat alone. Going to the gym is great. We do need some physical activity. activity as well. As a matter of fact, 150 minutes per week is what's recommended. But you can actually see a weight loss, a difference in your weight by just what you eat, changing your nutrition. So the first thing I always look at on a nutrition fact label is the amount of added sugar. And if you notice, I said added sugar. Right. So that means there's some already in there. Now, if it's 5%, and this is better for me, I do percentages versus grams. Because if I don't know how many grams I'm supposed to have in a day, and I have 5 grams, is that good or bad? I don't necessarily know. Percentages are easier. It's a quick little cheat, honestly. 5% or less is considered low rather, in whatever nutrient it is. 20% or more is considered high. Anything between that is optional. So if I were a diabetic, if I'm looking at something that has 18% sugar, then I'm going to question that, like, that's a little bit high, because diabetes is my concern. If hypertension is your concern, if it's something 18% or more and it has in sodium, you might want to be concerned about that. So whatever you are trying to manage, that's where that stuff in between makes the biggest difference. So I took this, well, I didn't take it. I asked for this package a little bit earlier because I saw somebody having a snack, so we wanted to see how healthy it was. Now, in added sugar, 0% added sugar. All right? We're doing pretty good so far.
Right.
All right. Carbs, 9% carbs. We're still doing pretty good. Not much more than 5%. Sodium, 14% sodium. So we're getting a little bit closer to the high end, but this is still okay because it's not 20%. So again, 20% or more is high, 5% or less is low, and everything in between, just kind of weigh your options. It's optional, okay? All right, so that's the first thing. Start there. I recommend you just starting there if you're having, not if you have any issues, before you can get issues. Let's start looking at these nutrition fact labels. That makes a difference. And also our seasonings and things. If you look at seasonings that has a lemon base to it, that's going to be helpful because you're going to have less sodium in it, because the lemon has a salty taste to it. So that's helpful. Season our foods with lemons and herbs and vinegar. Those things are helpful. Lime, those things. And you can use less salt. Fruit. Fruit, of course, is very good. It has fiber in it. Whole fruit is good, but so is frozen fruit. That's good. And even canned vegetables and fruit. We can use those, but I do recommend if you're eating canned anything, rinse it. Rinse it off, because that will rinse off the extra salt that's in it. Because if you think about things that are preserved, things that are to be held out a little bit longer, they're going to have extra salt and extra sugar because those are preservatives. So sometimes we'll eat dried cranberries. I bought some because I want to be healthy. So I got dried cranberries for my salad. And I looked at the amount of added sugar in that.
It's a lot.
So I don't do dried cranberries anymore. I do raisins. So making those type of substitutions, the raisins are a better option than the dried cranberries because there's not quite as much sugar in that. So, all right, so that's generally my tip. One last thing before I go is this is a plate and we call it my plate. And so when, well, like most of us might have been used to the food pyramid. That's what I grew up on, was the food pyramid. Now we got my plate. And so my plate simply says half of your plate should be fruit and veggies, 1/4 of your plate should be protein, and another 1/4 should be grains. And if we can keep that in mind, that helps you know if you're eating a balanced meal or not. And that's what you need, is a balanced meal. Portion control. We need to make sure we're mindful of our portions as well. So that is the gist of what I have. That's a good, decent start for nutrition. And again, you don't have to just change everything about how you're eating and what you're eating. We do want to make changes, but we need to make them slowly so that we can sustain them. Okay? All right. Thank you all for your time.